Alright, today I want to do a product review on this Mission Boonie hat. If you're not familiar with Mission products, they generally have technology in their fabric that once you get it wet and you shake it a little bit, it activates like a cooling property within the fabric, and it makes your, well, for in this instance, your head cooler for 30 minutes, like we'll say like 2 hours once you get it wet. The moisture just stays cooler a little bit longer. This hat itself, I was actually a little bit disappointed in. I got this for running. I wouldn't recommend this for running. I'll give you a simple reason. Is the brim itself, it's too flimsy. So I took this for a test run the other day. Luckily, I took it for a test run before I actually used it during a race, and just me running at even like an 8-minute pace, this was just bouncing around way too much. So it's definitely one of those things that's going to get in the way of a race if you're actually like racing hard, or if it's like windy that day. The brim itself is just going to bounce around way too easily. Like I'm barely flicking it, and you can see how the bounce. So that factor, I alone can't recommend using this for running. Now I did stay up a little bit more and in place once I snapped. As you see, it's actually not as flimsy now because it actually becomes a little bit tighter. But then you're losing some of the sun protection that you would have had in around your ears as well, not just in the front. So it's kind of pointless to wear a boonie hat then if you can't use the full function of the boonie hat like some of the other products on the market. So again, you see how stiff this becomes now. See how flimsy it becomes. Just needs a little bit more stiffness in the brim. I think it actually would be a perfect hat. I'm actually going to email them and recommend it. It does have a nice chin strap. Keep it tight if you're actually like running hard, or if you want to like put it back behind your head. Take a break a little bit. But if you're actually going to use this for running, there's really no point. Even if you have like a really big head, which I don't, you might fill it up a little bit more than I would. Just the fabric itself on this, the brim the whole way around is just a little bit too loose. I have some other boonie hats that are a little bit stiffer, and they do not bounce like this. I even washed this twice now, and you can still see, still got too much bounce to it. It is nice because, again, it did have some snaps, which was a feature that I did think I would like, and I actually do like for a hat, like a boonie hat like this, when you can find it. So that way maybe later on, like during a race or early morning, you don't need all that sun protection, and being a little bit more aerodynamic with the buttons snapped, which does make a difference if you don't want to believe that or not. So I would snap it into place till it gets real sunny and actually need full sun protection. But again, once you want full sun protection, the brim's just so shitty, it becomes useless. Then you got the inside, which is nice. It's got the fabric itself that keeps you cooler and absorbs like sweat pretty good. So you don't have to worry about sweat dripping down your face too much. Now the other thing that I don't like about this hat that some other hats do, so this chin strap itself only serves as a chin strap. Some hats in the back here let you cinch it a little bit tighter. So like when it's around your head, it stays in place a little bit more. This hat does not do that. So I am kind of disappointed in that factor as well. But again, I'm a big supporter of Mission products in general. They do work for me. They do keep my head, when I'm wearing my hats, a lot cooler for a lot longer period of time than a normal hat would. So I do stand by their product and how they do cool. I just think they dropped the ball a little bit um, on the brim itself and being able to tighten it. Uh, I do like the colors though. I wish I had more to say about this, but again, when I was even running slow the other day, like an 8-minute pace for me, it was just bouncing up too much, and then once the wind would catch it, it just became too useless. So I can't use it for my intended purposes. I even wore this today, in fact, for mowing around my yard, and it still did a little bit too much bouncing. So I ended up just pushing the brims up really high, so it just stayed in one place. Maybe if you're just sitting around or something like that, doing a little fishing or sitting on a back porch in the sun or something, this might be good for you. Um, as long as it's not windy. But any activity that you're going to do, we're going to be moving around, or it's going to be a little bit windy. This really isn't going to help you. I guess if you're sitting at a ball game in the bleachers, this might be nice, especially because it's a white hat. It's not going to make your head as warm as well with the cooling factor once it's wet. But other than that, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't recommend this for running or any kind of activity where there's movement involved, because you're just going to be very pissed off with the brim and how it moves. So from that aspect, look for another boonie hat for those type of needs.